Well folks, winter's finally here. Thank God I've got my Keis G701 heated gloves to keep my digits warm.
Down in the
The Keis G701 heated gloves are the latest addition by British heated apparel specialists Keis, able to be powered off the bike's battery via cables or independently powered via batteries, available at an extra cost. These gloves promise industry-leading performance with their branded textile construction. But are they any good? So they get top marks for presentation, and so they should, as these will set you back the best part of £200. In the box you'll get the gloves themselves, plus all the wiring needed to connect them up to your bike's battery. You can power the gloves up via optional rechargeable batteries, but if you do, then you'll be looking at just shy of £300, including VAT, for the gloves and the batteries together. The gloves can also be powered by connecting them up to your existing Keis heated jacket, but if you have a pre-2020 jacket, then you'll need these female-to-female power connection adapters, available free of charge on request from Keis themselves. So, the gloves, they feel great to wear and you get a lot of feeling through them, so working the bike's controls is no issue at all. Keis claim this is due to their bonded textile construction. Basically, they've minimised the amount of slippage between the outer and inner layers, and it does seem to have worked. The gloves feature plenty of protection around the knuckle areas, and there's even a scaphoid slider to further prevent injury in the event of an off. They've got 3M Thinsulate insulation, which means the gloves are actually pretty warm in their own right, even without the heated element being switched on. Speaking of which, you power the gloves via an easy to reach button on the back of each hand, and this also allows you to toggle through the 3 heat settings. You push and hold to switch it on, and push and hold to switch off. It's easy to work, even with a gloved hand. So what are they like to ride in?
So, the Keis G701 heated gloves. What are they like actually on the bike? I've been wearing these for a couple of months now. If you watched the couple of budget bike reviews I did, the Honda CBR 600F and the Yamaha FJR 1300. If you've watched them, you'll see me wearing them last year. I've worn them over the winter, and today I've just had to do a little run up to sort of Speedy Shoey headquarters to do some stuff, get fitted for some kit for the new motorbike TV show coming to your screens very soon, about August time hopefully, over on Amazon Prime or the Dunlop website. So that's all the sponsor stuff out the way. What are these gloves like? I'll tell you what, for winter gloves, I'm not just saying this, even if they weren't heated, I would probably still wear these. I think they're about £200 though, so that would be expensive just to buy normal winter gloves. However, they're heated, which is awesome. The reason I'm bringing that up is they've got a great feel to them. These things have been, I can't remember what they call it, heat seal bonded or something, the 2 layers. So you've got the inner sort of Thinsulate layer, and then you've got, welcome, and then you've got the outer waterproof layer. And what you tend to find with those sort of type of gloves is normally what happens is there's a lot of movement between the 2 different layers, but because these have been, I think they call it hermetically bonded or something, there's very little movement, so you get really good tactile, I want to say tactile function, but I sound like there's really good feel through these gloves. Sometimes with winter gloves it feels like you've got a duvet wrapped over each hand. These don't. You can feel the controls, no problem. You're very dexterous, that's what I'm trying to say. So as far as that goes, comfort, massive tick. I think they look good. These are a good looking glove. If gloves are your thing, these are a good looking glove. They've got armour over the knuckles there, they've got scaphoid slider. If you do happen to come off, you're more likely to slide along the road rather than the glove dig in and then it causes you not ankle, what's that thing called? Wrist, causes you wrist injuries. But the thing everyone's wondering about is, do they keep your hand warm? Yes, they do. Very easy to operate, simply push and hold, let go. So you can see now it's called colour coded. Red means it's on the maximum heat setting. Push again, you go to the yellow or amber, medium heat setting. Push again, it's on green, and that's your lowest heat setting. Push again and you cycle back into maximum heat. The buttons are nice and easy to feel, even with a gloved hand. I've no problem at all switching these gloves on or off. They come with an apparent smartphone compatible finger, however that does not work in the slightest for me, so I don't know if I've got faulty gloves or if it just doesn't work. But as far as being smartphone compatible, no. not for me. The left hand glove has a little blade on it as well, and that is actually very, very good at clearing your visor. I'm a big fan of the visor cap system. That's the thing I always use. Get asked about it all the time, what's that big thing on my left glove? Normally I wear the visor cap. That little blade I thought was going to be useless, and it's actually really effective. Battery usage. Now these can obviously be wired up to your bike and powered straight off the bike, so you've got no battery worries. You can connect them straight to, if you have a Keis or Keis inner jacket, heated vest, they all interconnect. However, you can also do what I do, and if you have the external battery kit, then these can just be powered by rechargeable batteries, and that's exactly what I do. I don't like all the cables. So the batteries themselves, they just slide into the cuffs. A little bit clumsy to get over your jacket, but they do fit, and I can get my rucker jacket here, that fits over the top of these, no problem at all. How long do the batteries last? Well, I've timed them. It's taking between around about 5 and 6 hours to charge up, and with a full charge I'm getting literally just under, like a minute under 4 hours constant use, maximum heat setting. Left hand one is just given up, and it is coming up for, well, 10 to 4, so 3 hours 50 minutes. The right hand one's still going. It's like the battle of the Twixes. And literally, as I turned the camera off, the right hand one went. So that's just under 4 hours, full heat. If you vary the heat settings, when I did that, I got almost a full day's ride out of them. So all in, not too bad considering it's battery powered. I think though, those batteries, I think they're, am I right in saying they're 80 odd quid for the battery kit? Or 80, yeah, I think it's 80 quid for the battery kit. Add that to the already, I think it's £200 cost for the gloves. Pretty expensive. But do they do a good job? Yes, they do. These things heat the back of your hand. So they're heating all here and there. That's where they heat. And down the back of your fingers. I've had other heated gloves and they just heated up the palm. But then the back of your hand gets freezing cold with the wind blast as you're riding along. These things combat that. They're really good. They're not like scald your hand warm, even at maximum heat setting. It's like they take the edge off. This morning's about -2. Had a big old run up from down south there all the way up here on the motorway, sat at motorway speeds. It was proper cold. I'm glad I had the nuclear BMW heated grips, because when I put them on as well as these, my hands were toasty warm, but it just made me realise how cold the rest of me was. But in terms of practicalities when riding, these things get 5 stars from me. They're awesome. The only thing I would like more is maybe a smidgen more heat, but that's just because I'm old and soft, and maybe a bit more battery life out of them. You know, if you could get 6 to 8 hours out of the battery, that would be absolutely a fan-dabby dozy.
Something you have been asking on social media is, with the gloves, because there's 2 layers to them, there's the outer waterproof layer and the inner thinsulate layer. When the outer layer gets saturated and it becomes wet out in the cold, can the heating element overcome that and keep your hands warm? Well, I can testify, yes, it can. I've worn these gloves all through the winter. I've been out in some horrific conditions, as you've seen. The gloves have got wet, but I have never felt the hands wet on the inside. Whilst I will say the heating element in these gloves, it's not scorching hot. You know, your hands are not going to be toasty warm in really cold conditions purely off the heated gloves themselves. If you combine them with heated grips, it is booty full. The gloves themselves, they'll take the edge off when it's really cold. I would like them to go another stage up with the heat if they could, but I certainly never felt like the gloves suffered from being out in the rain for any prolonged period of time. The gloves themselves come in sizes from 3XS all the way up to 3XL, so they should quite literally fit any hand out there. All in, folks, I'm well impressed with these. The only drawback from wearing heated gloves when you don't normally wear heated kit is you suddenly realise all the rest of you is freezing cold. I'll probably end up walking around like an electric blanket soon with every part of my body covered in heated kit. Alright folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Dig in now folks, we're nearly through it. Keep on looking after those that you love. Get on out there whenever you can and live your life. Woo-ha!